Shut up and sit down.
Hello and welcome back to the Papi English podcast. This is the podcast that helps you learn English. My name is Sam and I am your English teacher. And in this podcast, we're going to be talking about phrasal verbs. These are the top 10 phrasal verbs with get. So get has many phrasal verbs, and even the same phrasal verb can have different meanings. For example, the phrasal verb get into. Do you know how to use the phrasal verb get into? Well, let me tell you, it has a lot of meanings. One meaning is to gain access to something. Get into can mean to gain access to something. For example, I've forgotten my password for my laptop, for my computer, and now I cannot get into my computer. Okay, I cannot gain access to my computer. I've also lost my keys. I'm having a very forgetful day. And now I cannot get into my house. I cannot gain access to my house. We can also use get into for clothes to say that they fit or they don't fit. For example, this jumper, I can get into this jumper. However, my clothes from when I was a little boy, well, I cannot get into my clothes anymore. I cannot get into them. They're too small. They don't fit. We can also use get into to say that we're starting to like something or we're starting to enjoy something. For example, I don't know if I already told you this, but I'm doing tango lessons and I am getting into tango. Okay, this is an informal expression that means I'm starting to really like and enjoy tango. You simply say, I'm getting into tango. You might say, Sam, I'm getting into this podcast. I'm starting to really enjoy this podcast. Another use of get into is with public transport or scheduled transport. For example, the bus, the train, or the plane. You can use get into with a place to say that you're going to arrive. For example, what time are you getting into London? I'm getting into London at 5 o'clock. What time does the Hogwarts Express get into King's Cross Station? The Hogwarts Express gets into King's Cross Station at 6 o'clock. We can also use get in without to as an expression of joy, as an expression of success. And this is really informal, probably British English. It might be also used in Australia, not so much in America, I don't think. Get in means like, come on, yes. For example, I passed my exam, get in. Or, for example, I won the lottery, get in. Okay, it's an expression of joy. Another phrasal verb is get off. Now, if you're on something, for example, a motorbike or a horse, you can use the phrasal verb get off to say that you're removing yourself from that object. I get off the horse, I got off the motorbike. Also, if something's on you, for example, a spider, you can say get off. Oh, I'm trying to get the spider off. Okay, I'll get that spider off me. And get off can also mean to leave and start a journey. For example, you might say to somebody, what time do you get off tomorrow morning? I get off at 8 o'clock so I don't miss the train. I'm leaving at 8 o'clock. I'm getting off at 8 o'clock. And also in British English, get off is informal slang for kind of kiss, but like passionate kissing, like that kind of thing. Okay, so it's very informal, it's slang, it's British. Did you see that girl get off with that boy? Okay, this means to kiss. Now, the next phrasal verb is get on. Remember that horse and that motorbike I was talking about before? You get off the horse, you get off the motorbike. Well, you can also get on the motorbike. Get on can also mean to continue doing something. For example, I can say, I need to get on with my work, or I need to get on with the cooking. I need to continue my work, or I need to continue the cooking. Get on can also mean to have a good relationship with someone. So I can say, I get on with my students, Or you can say, I get on well with my students. Both of them have the same meaning. Or I get on with all of my family. Or I don't get on with my uncle. He's a little bit weird. And the next phrasal verb is get down. Now, get down can mean to descend. I'm going to tell you a little story. A few years ago, I decided to climb a tree. I climbed the tree and I was very happy, but then I got scared and I couldn't get down the tree. I stayed there for 5 hours and eventually the firefighter had to come to rescue me. Get down can also mean to feel sad, to feel depressed. So sometimes I get down, sometimes I feel sad, or if I watch a sad movie, I get down. Another phrasal verb is get back, and get back means return. For example, I'm looking forward to getting back home. We can also use it with a verb. For example, let's get back to work. Or we can say, let's get back to doing nothing. Get back can also mean to reply to a message or call. For example, thank you for your message. I'll get back to you later. I will get back to you later. I will reply to you later. And also, get back can mean to get revenge. So if somebody does something bad to you, you can get back at them. Get back at. We also use at, then the person. For example, a friend of mine stole some money, so I got back at my friend by stealing their teddy bear. I'm not very good at getting back at people. The next phrasal verb is get up, and get up means to rise. For example, in the morning, I get up at 9 o'clock. Or I get up after I try and do some press-ups on the floor and I collapse, and then a little bit later I get up. Get up can also mean to increase. For example, the wind is starting to get up. Okay, the wind is starting to increase. Or my blood pressure is getting up. I'm starting to get stressed. My blood pressure is increasing. Now, get up can also mean to do something. So, for example, what do you normally get up to on the weekend? Okay, this means what do you normally do on the weekend? On Saturday, I go out with my friends, go for a walk, and on Sunday, I get up to nothing. I do nothing. And the next phrasal verb is get over. Now, get over can mean to cross something. For example, how did you get over that river? Well, I walked across the bridge. I got over the river by walking across the bridge. Get over can also mean to overcome something. So sometimes I feel a little bit anxious when I have to film the podcast in front of the camera, but I'm getting over it with practice. I'm overcoming my anxiety by practicing. I'm getting over my anxiety by practicing. Get over can also mean to recover from something. For example, I had the flu and it took me weeks and weeks to get over it. It took me weeks and weeks to recover from it. Or when I was younger, I broke up with my girlfriend and I got over it in a day. I wasn't very sad. I recovered from the breakup in a day. I got over the breakup in a day. And going on to the next phrasal verb, which is get away. Get away can mean to escape. For example, I got away from prison. I escaped from prison. Or these people were really annoying and I walked away when they weren't looking. I got away. I escaped. Get away can also mean to go on holiday. So next week, I'm not working. I'm going to get away. I'm going to go on holiday. Don't tell anybody. It's a secret. I'm going on holiday. I'm getting away. Get away can also mean to escape punishment for doing something bad. So I lied to my friend, but he didn't find out. I got away with lying. I escaped punishment from lying because he didn't find out. Don't tell him. Shh. Hopefully, I can get away with it. The following phrasal verb is get through. Get through can mean to survive something not very pleasant. So I had a really bad day at school, but I got through it. I survived the bad day at school. Or I had a really boring meeting and I just wanted to fall asleep, but I got through it. I survived the meeting. If you're calling somebody and you are waiting for them to answer your call, you can say, I'm trying to get through to that person. I'm trying to get through to my boss. Hello? Hi boss. I managed to get through to my boss. I managed to reach him. Okay, so get through can also mean to reach somebody by phone. And the final phrasal verb is to get behind. And if you get behind something, it means you're not keeping up with it. For example, I'm getting behind with my work. My work is building up and I can't keep up with it. I'm weeks and weeks behind. I'm getting behind. Also, you could say, I'm getting behind with my rent. Okay, I still owe the rent for the past 3 months. I'm getting behind with my rent. Get behind can also mean to support someone. So you can get behind this podcast by following, by subscribing, by commenting, by messaging me, by liking it. Okay, so to support the podcast or to get behind a podcast, you can do all of these things. You can also get behind a charity, for example, to support a charity. And that, guys, is all of the phrasal verbs in this podcast. Those are 10 phrasal verbs. Make sure you go over them and practice using them with all of the different meanings. It's really difficult, so practice makes perfect. And that is what Papi English is all about. Practice and perfection in English. This has been Papi English. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. And I'll see you guys in the next podcast.